Hello, and welcome to Wine with Weeda, the podcast that is dedicated to engaging with health professionals and caregivers in meaningful discussions. I'm your host, Rita Shamoon, or as my clients call me, Weeda. I'm a pediatric speech pathologist, and I am so excited to have you here. Each week, we deep dive into connecting you with caregivers and healthcare professionals, sharing their insights, stories, and key takeaways to help you with your child's diagnosis and your journey. Whether you are a parent, healthcare professional, a lifetime learner, or simply a wine enthusiast, you're in the right place. So let's sit back and relax and enjoy today's episode. Hey everyone, this is Wine with Weeda, and I'm your host, Rita Shamoon. Today, I want to discuss a concept that many parents would benefit from, even allied health practitioners. It's teach, not test. Recently, I was on Instagram and I was watching an influencer encouraging his child to say the word watermelon. Now, for a 2-year-old, watermelon can be quite a hard word to say because it's multisyllabic. Multisyllabic means there's lots of beats in the word or syllables in the word. So watermelon has watermelon, about 4 to 5 syllables. And for a young child, that's really tricky. Sometimes they collapse the word so it's easier for them to say. Watermelon might be and or even melon, and that's okay for a 2-year-old. So this father kept telling his child, "What's this?" Well, I'm showing you the pen. "What's this? Say it, sweetheart. What's this?" And the poor child wasn't responding. Then so that was dad asking the child to say watermelon. Then he encouraged his wife to come along and tell him, "Say to mummy, what this is, what this is." The child didn't respond. He would go away, continue eating his fruit, and the dad just kept persisting. "What is this?" The child didn't say it. The dad let it go, and they continued having their breakfast. But when the sibling was talking to the mum and she was actually telling the child, "Come on, let's eat the watermelon. Watermelon is your favorite here. The watermelon's on the table." Guess what the child said? Watermelon. And I love that video because it shows the power of you talking to a child, labeling the object rather than testing or even asking the child to say it again or say what this word is. If you imagine if you were like in a situation and someone kept asking you questions, what's your name? What do you do? Who do you live with? What's your favorite color? How old are you? It's quite intimidating as someone is badgering you with questions. As a listener, you feel quite confronted by the interrogation of questions. You feel like your conversation and interaction is quite limited because there's no back and forth of the dynamic. You also feel quite overwhelmed, like, hold on a minute, why am I getting tested or questioned? Like, can this just be a naturalistic engagement? Now, that's what many adults feel. Imagine what a young toddler, even a young child, feels when we always ask them, "What's this?" or looking at a book saying, "Tell me what this is." It's really hard for kids. Some kids may answer, but for many kids, it's really hard, and they will just start to display characteristics of, "I'm not comfortable with this. I'm just going to walk away. I'm not going to engage with this anymore." And I love that analogy, teach, don't test, because it's about teaching children how to communicate and teaching children the vocabulary rather than testing them all the time. I want to pitch something to you. What benefit do you get as a consumer in the interaction by constantly testing a child with what the object is? Do you need to sometimes think, how does this impact the child if I'm constantly asking them, "What's this? Who's that? What color is this?" But rather, let's teach children the joy of communication and the beauty of naturalistic engagement by having a back and forth conversation of teaching children how to communicate in the moment. So when we're working with kids, rather than asking them, "What's this?" tell them, "That's a pen. This is a watermelon." and continue the conversation around that topic. So if we go on the watermelon example, you love watermelon. It's really juicy. Watermelon is a type of fruit. Mummy loves mangoes instead. So by doing that, you're teaching the child what the words are, you're engaging with the words, you're talking about the joy that these words bring you, but also the child is learning the power of using those words in different sentences and different conversations too. Now, if we shift that knowledge to when we want to ask our children, what do they want to eat? Rather than asking, what do you want for dinner? That's a question we're testing, right? Teach it. Ask them, talk about the vocabulary that you want to explore. For dinner, do you want the chicken or do you want the steak? By doing that, you're modeling, you're teaching, you're not testing. And what happens? The child always tells you one of the other options. So when you're working with young kids, working with your child today, reading a book and pointing to the pictures, I encourage you, don't test your child, but rather teach your child the words that they're exploring in the interaction. This will teach your child that communication is fun, it's enjoyable, and it's so great to have this with my mum or dad. But also, it's to also teach the child how beautiful communication can be, and it's actually quite joyful and not interrogating. Next time when you see yourself asking your children lots of questions, think, I'm not interrogating, I'm not testing, I need to switch that. And so I need to teach my child. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Wine with Weta. Another episode will be brought to your ears really soon. Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Wine with Weta. I hope you found some new inspiration, learnt something new, or gained a fresh perspective. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd be so grateful if you please leave a 5-star review, as it really helps the show get in the ears of new listeners, plus it takes 5 seconds. If you're keen for more strategies and insights, then head over to Instagram and follow RS Speech Pathology.